Hello and welcome back. I'm Diana. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet. And let's get into today's video. Today we are cooking we're following a recipe this time. I'm so excited. And it's from the website called Creme de la Crumb. And we are going to be making a salmon dish, which I'm really excited about because I'm craving salmon. And so why not? So I bought some and I'm excited about that. I think I have all the ingredients and I think I'm gonna do well because I'm literally following a recipe. I cannot mess this up. However, I don't know if it's gonna be good. So that's kind of like the little surprise that we're waiting for at the end to see if it's actually a good recipe. And if it is, I will leave the link below. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm actually also going to, on the side, instead of just eating the salmon by itself, I'm going to eat it with potatoes. So I'm going to make potatoes first because I don't know how the fish smell is going to be able to work well with the potatoes. Anyways, at some point, they're all going to be in the oven together, but that's for a later time to worry about. Right now, let's start off by cutting down the potatoes and getting into this. All right, let me get my apron. That almost didn't work. Okay, put this on. I think it's gonna get messy. But maybe not. I don't know. I think it's gonna be good just because I'm not making this up. The recipe is not in my head, except for the potatoes. I'm making the potatoes a little bit larger than I normally would, so that's gonna be a little difference. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I already turned on the oven. It's warming up. I'm probably going to get extremely oily. That's okay. That's part of life. Let's go cut up the potatoes and get it started because yeah, it's warm already and we haven't even begun. But yeah, let's go. Okay, so I just realized that I could have just bought the little tiny potatoes, but that's in the past. It's okay, we're going with this because I'm literally making them the size of the little potatoes that they could have been as well. That life would have been so much easier, but that's okay. So now I have this much and I feel like that's a lot. That's a lot of potatoes. So I'm going to stop there. I just chopped up 2 potatoes and a half. So I'm gonna leave it at that because that's too much and I have just 1 small pan. I don't think it's enough. So let's go ahead, rinse those off and then put them in the oven. Okay, before we put them in the oven, I'm going to only use my favorites. Only my favorite seasonings in the world, salt and black pepper. That's all I need because that's all I'm craving. I don't think when I'm going to eat with the salmon, I need a lot of extra flavors. So I think that will be sufficient for that only. All right, let's go ahead and add that on there. Okay, I lied. I think I'm going to add the other potato, the last half of the potato, just because yeah, I think I need more. I just need to complete that. I feel like the pan is not fully full like I thought it would have been, so I'm just gonna add that in there. See, it's not fully covered, so I'm just gonna add them. Just for safety, you know, you rather have more than not enough, so that's okay. All right. Okay, so I've never made potatoes that large, so I'm hoping that that's enough salt. I have no idea how much salt I need to put in there because I usually cut them up extra small, so they're cute little potatoes, but these ones are a little larger because it's gonna be eaten with a meal, so as if nothing else is a meal. But anyways, yeah, so that's what's happening. I'm just a little bit in wonder as far as whether I should just keep stocking up on salt, just because the potatoes are large. So if the salt is not going to go deep inside, I don't know if I should add. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. I feel like I always add just a little bit more because, again, sometimes the salt disappears. We want it to disappear inside, not out of space. Okay, let me just add just a little bit more on the bottom side. That may be enough. I hope so. If not, what are we gonna do? Okay, but I did lose 2 potatoes in the making of my potatoes, and I'm a little sad, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna toss them in the oven and then start on the other part. Okay, so I have the oven on at 400. Generally, when I'm making tiny potatoes, I cook them for 20 minutes. So I think these ones need to be cooked for 40 minutes. I don't even know how I could look that up, but I'm going to think that they should be cooked for 40 minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer for 40 minutes or at least 30 minutes, if anything. And I'll just check them again. I'll check them. I'll set the timer for 20 minutes, check them, flip them, and then turn it back on for another 20 minutes. That makes more sense. All right. Okay, potatoes are in the oven. Those ones, again, we're cooking off of my brain. I know I'm trying to just focus on using the recipes, but sometimes I want to just be able to cook from my mind and my memory and my intuition or my thought process in my head. You know, when you come up with something in your head, a dream or whatever, you kind of just put it into play to see if it's actually going to work. So that's what we're doing with that. All right, so now let's get the salmon ready. So I got it out. I have the salmon here. Now, here's the little interesting part. So I bought it about a week ago. I left it in the refrigerator for like 3 days because I was hoping to every day that I was supposed to cook it, and then I just didn't. And then I put it in the freezer. And then last night I took it out of the freezer. And so I think it's bleeding. It wasn't bleeding before. I don't know yet if it's bleeding, but I feel like it is just because it's thawed out and it's not as fresh as it was when I first got it. So that we have that little situation. I have not looked at it since, but it is starting to smell like fish, which I know that's probably from the thawing. Anyways, that's what we're dealing with. I am going to open it, but let me tell you the ingredients that we need to actually make this salmon. It says, oh, does it have a name actually? Oh, this is called the Best Easy Healthy Baked Salmon. And like I said, I like food that is easily made with few ingredients because then I'm more likely to do it again on my free time when I'm not, or even on my busy time, and it's not such a big hassle or a lot of stress. Anyways, with that said, here are the ingredients. It says that we're going to need 4 salmon fillets. Now my salmon is not, of course, cut up, so I have to cut it, and it said 6 ounces each. I don't have a measuring what do you call it, a measuring weight. I can't tell how many ounces it's going to be, but that's fine. I think we'll go with the flow and see how that turns out. That's where the fun is, right? The little discovery adventure. And then it says 2 tablespoons of olive oil, half a teaspoon of salt or to taste, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of cracked black pepper or a pinch of finely grounded black pepper, which is what I have, so I'm going to be using a pinch of that. And then 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, something I do not have, so that's a little disappointing. And then 1 teaspoon of Italian herb seasoning. I have Italian seasoning, so I'm really excited about that. And then 1 medium lemon. Now, with all of that, The interesting thing is that I am craving some sort of butter. So I know that we're putting olive oil in there, but I don't know if I want to put butter. So I'm craving buttery salmon, so there's a chance I will sprinkle some butter on there. I don't know, but since I'm making, I think it said 4 fillets or 6 fillets. 4 fillets for 6 ounces. We'll see. I'm gonna cut them up, or cut up what I have into the amounts that they need, and then we'll go from there. The sizes, it's a surprise. Let's go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm low-key nervous to open this up. I don't know what I'm going to be looking at. I hope it's not bloody. I hope it's not bloody. Because I don't know what to do with that. I just don't know what to do with that. But yeah. Oof, we got this. Let's go. Yay! Okay, that was a process. I know it took a minute, but I got there. I was a little nervous. I've never I've just never touched this big of fish raw. So yeah, it's a process for me. It's a process. But anyways, we got the fish out of the bag. Now I have to cut it up, and yeah, let's see how that goes, because again, this is the second time I'm cooking fish ever in my life. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and chop this up into the fillets that they're talking about. I think that they're meaning little, like rectangular portions. So let's go ahead and try that, chop that up into those pieces and see where we go. Okay, that took forever. It turns out, according to how I'm actually chopping them up, or maybe perhaps it's my knife, but the skin is quite hard to break apart. So that's where the real struggle was. The meat itself is very nice and tender, so it's easy to cut through it, but the skin, y'all, the skin is rough. So that's fine though, we did that. Anyways, it's already 20 minutes. Doing all of that took me that long. So anyways, yeah, it's 20 minutes, so now I have to take the potatoes out. No, I'm gonna flip the potatoes to see if they're ready. I know they're not ready because they were bigger, so they shouldn't be ready. I just hope that they're not burned. All right, that's time. Some of them feel ready, but I don't think they're all ready. But I'm surprised that some of them are ready, or at least the outside. Maybe the center part is not fully ready. I'm just gonna add a little bit more oil because they are quite black peppery. I tasted just a little snippet of them, and then yeah, I'm gonna add some more oil, and then maybe not some more salt, but they're not giving what I wanted them to give. They're giving breakfast potatoes instead of lunch potatoes. If you ever had the difference, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let me go ahead and add some more oil. I flipped them. I made life easier by doing it right then and there without putting them on the stove, because life is easier. The camera's already sitting there, and so I did that. But yeah, let's go ahead and add some oil and go from there. Okay, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna do. I added just a little bit of a sprinkle of salt. I thought they were already salted nicely, but I don't know. I just always need more salt. I have to stop with the salt. I honestly don't eat that much salt. When I'm eating a salty meal, it has to be nice and salty. Anyways, that's that. I've got that, and yeah, so I think what I needed from the potatoes, because they were a little bit drier, they need to have that moistness to them, so I added more oil to them, and I think that's what I wanted to give them. That's what I call non-breakfast potatoes. Anyways, all potatoes should be like that. But anyways, that's that. Let's put them back in the oven for about 10 minutes this time, because I think they're ready. They just need a little bit more cooking to get a lot softer in the center. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the camera got really hot from the oven cooking and the heat coming out of it that it turned off. So back on again. Not that you notice, it seems like nothing happened, but that's why I don't have footage of me putting the food inside the oven. Anyways, let's move on to the salmon. I think it's done sitting outside, and let's get this marinated. I wonder if I should. Let's marinate it as best as we can. I don't want to mix the smell of the salmon with the potatoes, or the salmon in the potatoes. I like a different mix, so that's why I wanted to cook that first. But I have 4 minutes over there, and then we will be done. But anyways, let's get this salmon marinated. Yes. Okay, so it says, I have to read the instructions. It says preheat oven to 400 degrees. It already is. Lucky me, happy me. And then it says arrange salmon fillets on the baking sheet and season generously with salt and pepper. They know what I want, and this makes me happy because, of course, like I said, salt and pepper are my favorites, and that's what we're gonna be using, and I'm so happy that the recipe calls for that as well. All right, so the largest pan I have is the one that's being in use right now. So I don't know if I have another smaller one, but I don't know if I want to use that. It says in a large pan, so is the salmon going to swell up? I don't know, but I don't have a larger pan, just the one that's being used right now. So maybe when that's done, I'm going to transfer those potatoes into the smaller pan and then use that other pan. Yeah, that makes more sense. Let's wait 3 minutes and then, yeah, go from there. Okay, I got my pan ready. I think the salmon is cooking from the moist because it's changing. Anyways, let's put this up before it cooks, before it actually cooks. Does that make sense? Okay, so I have a pan, and if you haven't seen any of my cooking videos, just to let you know, the pans are burned. Yes, I burn my food. I burn my pans, and I don't know how to fix them because I guess I don't do a good job at scrubbing off the burn. So yeah, that's why they look the way they're gonna look. Just so you know, FYI, I already know. And they still do the job, so I continue to use them. And it's like every time I buy a pan, it just burns. So that's my dilemma. Anyways, let's move forward. I'm ready for this. The potatoes are ready. Switched them over, got the pan out. Let's go. Yay. Okay, so I have a little dilemma because the instructions called for a ½ teaspoon of salt, but then it says to season generously on the fillets. Now I'm wondering, am I supposed to use the ½ teaspoon for each fillet, or am I, because I'm just dumping it all in there and I have no idea if it's going to be overly salty. I probably have made it overly salty, and that's really sad, because that was not my goal, but now I have all that. So what are we gonna do? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. The instructions don't say use that teaspoon. I'm very oily because it's extremely hot, FYI. There's a lot going on. So, but yeah, I gotta finish up fast. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I just put the salt on there. It was not the measurements, but I hope that's good enough. Also, I wonder if I'm supposed to season the back of it, like the skin part. I don't think I remember eating skin fish. Eating fish skin, so I'm like, is it supposed to be flavored as well? I don't know, but I'm gonna do it just to be safe, right? It's better to be safe than sorry. But I'm just hoping that it's nice and salty. There's nothing worse than salmon that is not salty. Okay, let's go. Next up, it says to stir in the olive oil, the Italian dressing, and the lemon together. So let's go and do that. Okay, we have that, and then I don't think I was supposed to season the bottoms because it's not saying anything. Anyways, so it says spoon over the salmon on the tops and the sides to make sure it has nothing dry around it, so everything should be nice and smothered. Nice and smothered. So after that, I then have to slice, I think make some cuts in the center. So let's do that. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. Ah! I'm just hoping it's salty enough. That's my only concern. But I'm not gonna slice it in there. I'm just going to slice up some lemons, put them on top. But before I do that, I'm gonna smother some butter on it because I think it needs butter. I don't care. So I just decided to put it on one to see if I would like it with one, and then if I do, maybe next time I'll just always put butter because I think butter is amazing. Anyways, that's that. Let's go ahead and put this in the oven. It sets for 15 minutes and then we should be ready soon. Okay, so it says to cook for 12 to 15 minutes. I have it on 13 minutes because 12... I heard a little jump. Yeah, so it's just gonna cook for that. I should cook it for 15 minutes just so that it's extra. Okay, I put 14 minutes to be safe, just so that we like it a little bit well done cooked, and then we'll be done hopefully sooner than later. And then when I come back, I'll do a mini test, and I'm so excited. I look forward to this. I'm so nervous, but I have no idea if this is gonna be good or not, but that's what we have. So I'm thinking I also want to make some spinach. I think I want to make spinach, but I want to make it with, what do you call it, with I want to make it with sour cream, so I want it to have a little creamy to it. I wonder if that's what I want. Yeah, because the potatoes already have salt and oil. The salmon's going to have salt and oil, and then the other one should have more of a creamy base, something like a rice or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make that just in case that's what I'm craving. I'm not sure if that's what I want, but for now, let's make it. I think it will pair really well with this salmon. But again, it's in my head. That's what's happening. We're gonna try it out and let's see. Okay, so I hear the bell and that means that it is time. I'm sure you're gonna hear it at some point, but there it is. I am quite nervous, very, very, very much so indeed. And oh my gosh, I don't know. Okay, let's take this out and see what it's gonna be like. I also made the spinach, but the camera died and therefore I had to go and cool it down a little bit because the heat in here, as you can see, I am burning up, sweating everywhere. It's massively hot, intensely hot. But that's also a good sign because summer is here and I'm super happy. But anyways, yeah, let me take the fish out before it burns. Okay, the colors look great. Yeah, the colors look good. That means that I think it is well done. I think it's been in there for like 16, 17 minutes. It said 15 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes, but I'm going to say that it is ready. So let's see here. But anyways, it looks really pretty. So I'm just gonna take a little bite and then I will let you guys know which part pairs well with it, and then we'll go from there. Okay, and now for the big reveal. I think I already showed you how. Let me show you actually again while it's still on the pan. But this is what we're going for. I hope you can see. It looks really delicious. I hope that it is delicious. I'm really nervous because again, I didn't follow the measurements of the salt and the black pepper. But anyways, let's see here. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the one that does not have butter. And here we go. Okay. it's not salty enough. It's not salty enough. So that's that. But the potato is really salty, so it balances it off really nicely, I think. Now for the one with the butter, I put a very little tiny bit of butter, so I don't even know if it's going to make a difference, but yeah. It does make a difference. Okay, so the one with the butter has a little bit more flavor. They're both ready, but the amount of salt that I put on there is not as much as I would have liked for it to be in there. However, I put too much salt in the potatoes, and that again balances it off really nicely, I think. So it's like you have to eat the fish with the potato in the same bite in order to actually make it work really, really well, so that the flavors just pop in your mouth. But yeah, that's basically it. I love it. I enjoy it. The food is ready. I'm really happy. I got my first salmon done, and I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, sit back, relax, eat, enjoy, and be done for the day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
No place I'd rather be.